Sure, sure.
Great.
Okay, hello everybody. I hope that we are all audible and visible. In case you can't hear us or see us, please leave us a message in the chat box and we'll get down to fixing it. So, hello, welcome. My name is Angarika and I work with Nihal at Mara, which is an arts and media collective based in Bangalore.
Hello, welcome. My name is Angarika.
We do a lot of work with various kinds of artistic practices and with community media. And for the last couple of years, we've been developing a body of work around stand-up comedy, about which Nihal will talk a little bit more. But I just wanted to introduce today's talk. So this is part of a series called Against the Tide, and this is the second talk in the series. The first talk was with a film director named Shailaja Padindala, who recently released her film Nanu Ladies, which is a queer love story. And today is our second talk with Neha, which we're very excited to host. Against the Tide is essentially a series of monthly conversations that we are having with artistic practitioners from the field of comedy, performance, music, visual arts, specifically with practitioners who are trying to disturb or question or provoke the dominant discourse today. In light of the news around Munawar that I'm sure you're all aware of. I don't think I need to explain what I mean by dominant discourse, but the idea is to speak with people who are kind of challenging, not just politically, but also in terms of form and practice. They are inventing and innovating and experimenting with their artistic practice in a way that raises pertinent questions to in the times we live in. So today is our talk with Neha, and we're very happy to be having this conversation, particularly in light of the news. Just a couple of instructions. Request all of you to keep your mics muted through the conversation. If you want to turn your cameras on, that would be nice so that we don't feel like we're talking to a big black box. The flow of the conversation is that Nihal will be facilitating some questions with Neha for the next half an hour, 40 minutes. And after that, we will leave it open to the audience for your questions and comments. So you can ask them straight away or you can leave them in the chat box and we'll make sure that she has a look at them. So thank you all very much for joining. And over to you, Nihal.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Really happy to have you all here. And I'm very, very happy to have Neha with us today. So basically, over the last 2, 3 years, Mara has slowly been building up a body of work centered around working with comedy as a space for new voices to share their own stories and perspectives from across the country, and specifically working with different communities who perhaps haven't had that space on the stage before. So back in 2018 is when I first met Neha actually, when we were trying to set up the process in Maharashtra for a process called Kai Bolta Hai, which was looking at trying to bring different voices from across Maharashtra to share their ideas through comedy. And Neha was one of the members. Well, actually, it was the first time we ever did work like that before. And she was one of the first people that we worked with during that process, which was in collaboration with Bharatiya Digital Party. So basically, through the process, we were working with people to sort of engage them and encourage them to share their own ideas and their own stories and perspectives. And basically, then how do you convert that into stand-up comedy? And we sort of closed that process up in 2019. And Neha, since that process has gone on to reach new levels, which we're all really, really, really impressed with and proud of. And yeah, I mean, so for me, I feel like we thought it'd be really, really interesting to speak to Neha. Number one, because of the old friendship that we have that's now spanned almost like 5 years, which is a bit crazy, actually. But also, more than anything else, it's been really interesting to watch her trajectory of growth as a comedian, as a content creator, as someone who's also working within the realm of stand-up comedy, but not within the mainstream sort of idea of how that works completely. She's found a way to build her own niche specifically, which is sort of push the idea of how stand-up can work within this country, as well as how comedy can be a really interesting tool that can create spaces for new ideas, new questions around language, gender, about the types of stories that can be represented through comedy in itself, and also more than anything else, the location of these stories itself. Through her work of concentrating on her own sort of lived experiences and daily practices, which are located in Vidarbha and Nagpur. So yeah, I don't want to give anything else away. We'll get into that, and I guess Neha can tell us a little bit more about herself. But yeah, I'd like to just welcome Neha to Against the Tide, and yeah, we're really happy to have you here, and it's good that we finally managed to make this happen after some back and forth. So yeah, I mean, I guess we can just get straight into it. How is things with you, Neha? How have you been in the last year or so? I feel like in the last year and a half, it's been extremely quite a lot of things have happened for you, right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling more peaceful where I am, and I think that I can do much better. And now the responsibility is more. So yeah, I can see a lot can happen at this stage now.
Great. So I mean, I spoke a little bit about where we met first, which was sorry, someone's not muted because it's echoing a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was echoing on Instagram Live also. So if everybody other than Nihal and Neha could please mute themselves. Try again, Nihal.
Okay. Hi, can you hear me now? Is it still echoing? Okay, I think we're all right. Okay, great. Okay, I was just saying, so I was talking a little bit about the stand-up comedy process that we work with, that Neha was a part of. But I think you're, like, from what I understand from knowing you for so long, your journey actually started a lot before that in terms of your work with different arts practices. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into working with different sort of theater and comedy and things like that, that sort of brought you to the space that you are today?
Yeah. It is not an accident that immediately I started making video and that got viral. This is not the case. It has a long history, or it has a long backing of practices. It began when I was in school, and in our place, I'm from Pulgaon, which is say 2 hours from Nagpur, and we used to have some intercollegiate competitions at my school. So I always used to take part in the drama of the competitions, and then I got into the drama practices, and then after that I was into studies, and also I just left everything till my graduation. And then again I thought that this is something I really like, and I think I should be doing this. So when I went to Mumbai for my post graduation, again I started the drama thing, and there I met with a lot of eminent theater practitioners. Like I did plays with Gulzar sir, Vaman Kendre, who is ex-director of National School of Drama, Gitanjali Kulkarni, who is wife of Atul Kulkarni, and so many other national and international people who are into theater practices. And then I got a little from everyone, and I was learning various skills, not only drama, but the backstage, the drama, the music, the art and craft. So this is how it adds to the personality, or it gives you some idea. And I also like to see the art performances of other people. So I also used to go to the music shows, to the dance shows, to other kind of performances. So even that adds to you. So it is not always only a one art form that gives you the color, but when you go to other art forms, I think that collectively shapes your personality totally.
So what drew you, like, even from a young age, to think about working with art specifically? What was the connection that you made with it? Why did you find it interesting?
I found it interesting because sometimes it is not always the speech. Like when we go for a speech, it is only one of your body part is involved in that. But when you see an art, all of your 5 elements, 5 sensory organs are involved in the process. Like you see, you smell, you listen. So everything is in sync. Your mind is in sync. Your eyes, your mind, your ears, everything is in sync with that performance. And you knew that this is not real, but you get along so much. You involve in that performance so much that art have a capacity to take you to another level. When you see a really good play, it has a capacity to forget who you are at present and to take you to extremely another level. And we have seen such performances and such experiences in life. So this is something that really attracts me. कि ये क्या है, ये कैसे होता है अपने साथ कि we totally forget our existence and we go to some other level and then we come back again. It is so meditative for me. It is so much like a meditation for me.
Right. And I mean, I think who are some of the bigger influences in the
I think your voice is echoing again.
Hemant, could you please mute your mic? Or Nihal, maybe. Yeah,
Hello.
okay. We should be good now.
Great. So I was just asking, so through the many years, you mentioned that you had a lot of different influences and people who you worked with who sort of guided you in the way that you thought about arts processes. But I also understand from a lot of your content that you created, whether it's a YouTube channel or some of the comedy sets that you work with, there's a lot. It's beyond just the art form, but it's working with the art form to speak about specific ideas and critiques and observations that you have. So where does that come from as well?
Yeah, so right from the childhood, when like I am basically from a very small town or very small village, which is Pulgaon, and then we have this village called as Vitara, and my parents are into agriculture, so we have a farm there. And when I grew up in a locality which was more of tribal. So the people around me were basically tribals of Maharashtra, and then they have a lot of other kind of art form and practices. So that was the one life I lived. And when after 12th, when I went to Pune and I did my engineering there, so it was a complete shift for myself. That was a completely different world, and this was completely different world. And people were completely different. Their thought process, their costumes, their language, their outlook towards life was completely different. So your mind makes differences, right? Like why did I live my life like this, and why they have lived their life like that? So I remember that when in my childhood we used to have 10 hours of load shedding, and whereas in cities there was always an electricity. Whereas in village people consume so less electricity, still there was 10 hours of load shedding. But in cities people have so much of electricity use, and they have still 24/7 electricity available to them. So like that, this was just a small example which always used to come to my mind. So I used to think, why like this? So my mind was always into the thinking process that why there is so much of difference between cities and between villages, so between genders, why men get more, you can say, why they always get preference over a female. Like, though we have almost same kind of brain, sometimes I feel women are more smarter. So why this kind of differences? So yeah, my mind was always like that. And then the political, you can say, bringing up, the social bringing up, then the influence of our leaders, Ambedkar or Gandhi ji or whatever, or I'm from Vidarbha, so local leaders we have like Gadge Baba, Buddha. So all those people, they have like, why did they do that? And what was their teaching? So all this collectively influenced me or hampered my mind. So that's why my comedy sets always have a comparison, or you can say some political disclaimer or some political comment. It always have.
Yeah. And what drew you to comedy as a platform to share some of these ideas?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
What made you think, wow, what inspired you to start thinking about working with comedy to share some of these ideas?
Okay. No, I did not really thought that, okay, let's use comedy and fight against social causes. No, I did not thought like that. I was just exploring. I explored theater, I explored music, I explored dance, I explored studies, I explored speech, I explored so many other kind of contents. I explored one act play also. So this was just an exploration for me, and then it worked. That was the thing. I didn't knew that it will work. I just explored. I thought let's try it out, and then it worked. And I think why it worked is that all kind of people likes to laugh. People really love to laugh, or whoever made you laugh, they remember that. Or if you serve something meaningful along with the laughter, that will stay with them for longer, is what my idea was. So I didn't knew it will work, but I explored and it worked somehow for me. That was the thing.
What do you think it is with comedy and like telling your college stories through humor that works for people, and you're able to share certain messages that perhaps you couldn't before, or even just like to connect with wider audience? Why do you think comedy has that power?
See, what I did is, I didn't know, but what I did was I used a very local language which is spoken in the local areas of Vidarbha, that is Waradi language. It's very unpopular but very local, and everyone knew over here. Like our forefathers used to speak in the language. My parents still speak in Waradi language, and I, since my bringing up is in village, so I always knew. Like I'm brought up in that language. But suddenly, when we went to cities, that language was considered as vulnerable or impure language, a not so Polish language. Like, why do you speak like that? Like people used to make fun of that language. So that thing came to my mind, that why some language is pure and why some language is impure. I got birth in this area, that is not my fault. I am brought up in this area, that is not my fault. I heard this language around me, that is not my fault. And suddenly when I went to study to some city and they are saying that your language is impure, you're impure. So how can I become impure because of my language? I could be impure because of my thoughts, my actions. How can language make you impure? So that was the thought always like sticking me throughout my engineering and masters while in Mumbai and in Pune. And then I thought, why not use this language and make something comedy? Because I personally love Waradi language and it is so funny. I laugh a lot whenever someone speaks in that language. I instantly connect to it and I feel very connected. So that's why I think why my videos worked is I use this local language, and across the age, gender, profession, people connected to that language. They loved it out. They use that language now with their loved ones or with each other, and then they feel connected. Because language has a huge politics, you know. You are from Bangalore. Tamil Nadu is a great example of language politics. So language has a huge political power and huge connection also. So I used language like to connect, but that again, I didn't knew it will work. I just experimented and it worked. And now when I go back to re-homework, then I realize, okay, language has that connection thing. That's why it worked.
And I know that you get a lot of like responses to some of the different content that you put out. Specifically, you're talking about language and things like that. What do some of the people share with you about why they really enjoy the content that you're creating, and how do they connect to it?
Yeah, I would love to answer this. And just a few days back, there was a Constitution Day. 26th November is a Constitution Day observed everywhere. And I went to Diksha Bhumi, and there was this walk organized. And then when I was walking, one couple came to me running, and that girl told me that she's a huge fan of me and she really likes my video. So I thought कि ऐसे बोला होगा, मतलब people just come and say. मैंने इतना कुछ seriously भी नहीं लिया. I was like, okay, thank you so much, and she took my picture and all. And then casually I just asked her, what do you do? And that girl was an IRS, and she introduced me to her husband, and her husband was IAS. So I was so shocked that इतने बड़े-बड़े bureaucrats भी मेरे video देखते हैं, and they feel connected to it, and they feel that they should come to me, take my photograph and talk to me, take my number. So it is a very huge thing for me, and I was so shocked कि इन लोगों के पास इतना time भी है to watch videos of someone like me. And she told me that she used to watch my videos during COVID time when her husband was very serious, or she herself was very serious. So it gave me a kind of confidence that I'm going in the right direction. And I'm so glad that people come to me and talk to me and then introduce themselves to me and they feel connected to me. And I also feel that I'm a part of a society and we could contribute to each other's lives and do something better and make this place more better, make Vidarbha more better than what it is now.
Yeah. So, in terms of like the comedy and the work that you do, I feel like it covers like through the different characters that you create, whether it's Vidarbha Ti, Vidarbha Ti Aji. They're very, very like local ideas of people, I think, that you built from the people that you see around you. So how do you develop those characters for each of the videos that you make? What is the story behind that?
The story is like I am a girl and I wanted to shoot. So the most immediate character apart from me I can do is the mother's character. So because it's easy for me to do that. So that's why I chose the mother and the Neha thing. And then the next most easy character for me to do is becomes a grandmother. Because for me to perform a gent's character, I needed little hair and the beard makeup, which was not possible for me to go and buy. But still I have few male characters here and there. So this mother and Aji was easy to develop, so I did that. And again, I am shooting myself and I am the only one who's recording, editing and doing everything. My parents had absolutely no idea what I am doing in my room. So I had to see that what comes easy to me. So that's how the mother and the other characters came in. And I think it got famous because everyone can relate to the mother, to the grandmother things. So these are the people who are close to everyone. So that's why I think those characters got love from people.
I think it's also I like when I was watching some of the videos, but also some of the earlier content that you used to create for your stand-up shows. Like it's all based on things that you see around you, the different sort of lived experiences that you have, or even just like the things that you see, even the characters that you see. I feel like they're just characters that exist in your life. What do you think is the value of working with things like your own lived experiences and your own sort of observations around you in working with creating the content that you do?
I'm living in India. I am a scheduled caste Dalit woman. I have a lot of content. I don't really need to look out and for the content. Till my age I have suffered a lot, so I have a lot of content. Again, I'm born and brought up in a village and studied in Mumbai and Pune for five years, and then I am very good in academics also, but I am into art and culture also. So like that, I have a lot of content to work. So I have variety of experience in my life itself. So I just whenever I feel any differences and I think that this is the issue which we should talk about, and it is not very fancy issue or no one has spoke about it, so I make a video about it. Like be it mostly my videos are very gender oriented, so small experiences I pick up and I try to make some conscious comment on it, and to my surprise I get so much motivation from men's and from women's. I'm so glad that men's are also welcoming the change of thought process in a very positive way, and at the same way, women's are also welcoming it in a same positive way. So yeah, this is happening.
Do you think it's important for there to be more people like working with lived experiences and working with comedy to share these sort of lived experiences and perspectives and occupying that stage?
Yeah. I think if you have already lived some experiences, it is good to talk about it, to create around it, or to comment on it, or give some solution about it. You cannot create a content on some hired experiences. Like if someone tells me like how the Indians feel when they live in foreign, what are their plights are, I will not be able to relate to it much because I myself have never lived in foreign, and so I don't know the experience of staying there. So if someone writes for me that content and if I just perform, I will not do it with a huge conviction. However, I can do something with huge conviction if I myself have gone through it. And mostly comedians do that only. They create their own experiences only, majorly. So that's why I see it is my huge responsibility, because I come from so many different backgrounds, because I am a daughter of a farmer family. So I think this is a rare thing. Mostly doesn't the platform is not available for such kind of people who are so downtrodden. So if I've come this much way, it's my responsibility that I comment. I have to comment. I should comment. So yeah, this is it.
Certain backgrounds to share their own ideas and experiences, especially within comedy per se.
People couldn't reach this level because first thing, the space from where I come, there is no such example. When I was child, I had never seen any writer around me. I have never seen any professional performer around me, be it a singer or a dancer. I have never seen any professional singer, dancer, or any kind of performer or writer around me. So first thing was lack of examples. So when you don't see example, you don't feel like becoming them. Like I'll tell you, in my life, my village is a very small village of only 1,500 population. And till 25, till at the age of 25, I had never seen any administrative bureaucrat in my life. So there was no motivation to become like them. There was no motivation. So the lower strata have no examples to look for. That was one of the things. Second, you might think that there was a TV, you can look at TV and you can get inspired. But in my place, there was always 10-15 hours of load shedding. So even TV was not the thing for us. And we were more into studies and all that. And half of the time there was no electricity in my village. So even that was not there. So lack of example. And somehow if you find some strength to become like someone, then there is lack of guidance. Like how to do that, how to go till that. I gave a National School of Drama exam for 3 times, and 3 times I was chosen in last, like the final workshop which happens in Delhi, but I never got selected for the study. However, I was so much interested because I never knew like how there is always a preparation required to crack any exam. So I didn't knew how's the preparation, what am I supposed to do. So you need guidance. So lack of guidance, lack of examples, then lack of path. So that these are the things that I faced personally. And that's why I think that I should be staying in Nagpur and helping people like me who wants to choose some, you can say unpopular, so-called unpopular streams in their life. I should guide them if I can. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem I faced in my life.
So what would you say, like, one is this idea of like creating a path for yourself, a lack of guidance and a lack of, examples. What are some of the other challenges that were in your path to sort of create the world that you created now for yourself to share your own experiences?
Yeah. So lack of example, lack of path, if these two are removed, then lack of opportunity. Like you will be competing with those who have lived in metro cities, who have seen the examples, who have groomed themselves like that. So if I am compared with them, they are always better than. So they get the chance, I don't get the chance. Though no one is going to see where you came from and what was your background. They will see who's better between the two. So you, like when you come from such strata, you have to walk yourself to their level and then you get the chance. So yeah, the lack of opportunity was another thing. I was really lucky that I got selected in Kai Bolta Hai. If I couldn't have selected in Kai Bolta Hai, I would never knew how to write a thing. Like how to write is a thing. I never knew before attending Kai Bolta Hai program how to write. I had ideas in me, but I never knew how to put them in a rhythm to make a video or to make a stand-up comedy set. When I joined Kai Bolta Hai program, when I went through the writing workshop, slowly I developed that writing instinct in me. Slowly, with effort. So this happens, like you don't get opportunity, whatever reason it may be, and then you just get sidelined. And after a certain point, then you don't struggle or so much. So if that Kai Bolta Hai couldn't happen to me, I wouldn't have happened. Like these videos couldn't have happened because I never knew how to write. I just never knew how to write.
I mean, I feel like without Kai Bolta Hai, you would have found a way.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know because it's a very vichitra feeling, you know. It's very weird feeling that you want to write, but you don't know how to write, from where to start, how to fit them in a meter. This is also a training. How engineering and medical is a training. This is also a training. People don't know about it. So that's the thing.
So, I mean, even within the regional comedy scene, like whether it's within Vidarbha or even just Marathi stand-up comedy, do you think there is a big difference between that and like the other wider mainstream comedy scene in terms of opportunities and places for people to enter?
Yeah, Hindi has always a wider audience, Hindi and English, because most of the people in country understands Hindi, English. Marathi, if you see Marathi, the crowd of Mumbai and Pune is more matured towards art. Like they buy ticket, they go to shows, they buy ticket, they go to drama. Whereas if you rest of the cities except except Pune and Mumbai, they are not financially well to buy the ticket and go to some comedy show or some, you can say, drama show. A very rare examples here and there. So that's the thing. The Pune Mumbai audience is financially and they are socially little mature towards, they're accepting towards culture. But rest of the Maharashtra doesn't have such picture. So that's why the comedy shows, I don't think they will go well other than Mumbai and Pune. That's why the Bhadipa team focuses there. They had no show in Nagpur. No show. The last show they did was with us, like Kai Bolta, you were there. So that's the only show they did. They never do any ticketed show here. So that's something that we should think about.
Yeah.
And you know, Nihal, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, sorry,
and because of this, that geographic location stays, you can say, aloof from all such cultural movement. You understand? Like now the Nagpur or the so-called other cities, 2-tier cities, will be aloof from what cultural movement happening in the Mumbai and Pune region. So, ऐसा रहता है.
How do you think that this can shift? Because I feel like even within, while the Mumbai-Pune sort of cultural movements that exist might not be able to reach Nagpur, I feel like when we were traveling with Kai Boltai, right? And we went to each of the different locations, from Sangli to Satara to Chandrapur to Nagpur.
I mean,
even when I met you and Veera sir in Nagpur, like, he showed us a lot of things. Like, there is an existing cultural scene that already exists in each of these areas. And do you think that maybe the idea is not about connecting the space from Pune and Bombay to parts of Vidarbha, but to find a wider audience within Vidarbha and create it?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think to bridge the gap, and now I told you the problem. Now the solution to the problem is to bridge that gap. Someone like me or somebody from the Vidarbha has to take the action. Someone like me has to start the stand-up show with whatever like capacity I have, whatever infrastructure or things available at my hand. Someone from the area has to take the initiative and start the show. Now, see, in some few years before this idea was made popular, that go to cities, go to Pune, Mumbai for careers, for other things. But I don't think that is valid at present, because after COVID, the situation has completely changed. Work from home has given a new outlook to people. So I think to bridge the gap, the people like us should take the initiative and start cultural movements in our own regions and connect ourselves to the Pune, Mumbai people and develop our areas like that. Give and take should happen.
Yeah. So what is your vision in terms of taking that next step?
So yeah, my vision is like, I'm thinking that I should start a production house in Vidarbha, where all artists of Vidarbha should be enrolled, or I should have a numbers of all the artists, so that whenever any requirement related to Vidarbha comes to film industry or to any industry for that matter, to abroad or in India, they should come to me. At least they should have some single point of contact. Like if I am an outsider, if I want an artist from Vidarbha, there is no single point of contact here. They will just randomly call here and there. But there has to be one single point of contact. How Bhadipa developed themselves in Pune and Mumbai, like that, some single point of contact should be there in Vidarbha. So I would work towards that, to create such kind of production house here. I would try, under that banner, I will also try to make some really our own films in our own language, in Waradi language, or our stories basically. Our stories are different than Pune and Mumbai people. Like I told you the load shedding example, they will not relate to it. But the people from Vidarbha will definitely relate to it. So our stories through our production houses, our people from Vidarbha would be working in that, will be running such production houses. Then again, there are some other lines also, like for example, the tourism industry of Vidarbha needs to work on. Few youngsters are working on it, so I would like to support them, or to take them to another level, because we have jungles, we have tigers of all India in our place, and this is really beautiful jungle we have. Tadoba, Pench is our, you can say, a sparkling point in Vidarbha other than oranges. So that needs to work on. So yeah, like that, few lines are there which I want to take it up. And again, the performing shows like stand-up shows or open mic shows, we can train students, or like that. These are the few ideas which I am planning to work in near future, apart from my personal videos and shows.
What do you think some of the more... Hello? Hi, can please mute their audio?
Yeah, maybe you can mute her.
Yeah, it's muted. So in terms of working with regional language, or working with like a local idea around comedy, or even working with comedy itself, what do you think some of the larger impacts of sharing lived experiences can be, in terms of what do you think can happen by setting up some of the things that you said you wanted to set up?
It will connect people. Like when you share some experience based on the region, it instantly connects people. Like when you go to say some other non-Maharashtrian city, some state, for example, Kashmir or UP, and if two Maharashtrian people meets, they forget their caste and everything, and they get happy. Oh, you're Maharashtra, I'm also Maharashtrian. So that geography connects people. So the experience of geography connects people. So I think when we start working in the same geography and we take such topics related to that geography, it instantly connects people. So that's the idea.
I mean, so how would you view yourself in relation to the mainstream, in the sense that obviously you're thinking about working with Vidarbha and starting a production house here. What do you think the relationship would be with perhaps a Pune or a Mumbai, or how do you think that would work?
The relation would be a very collaborative relation, and I think the world is very closer now. The Zoom call is there, the airports are functioning really well. Nagpur has an airport. I'm staying nearby airport. So the world is very closed by, and we can definitely work in collaboration. They can come here, guide, train, and go back. I can go there, get myself trained, guided, and come back.
But outside of just the functional things, I'm thinking, like, for you, what is this idea of the mainstream generally? Like, what is the idea of this mainstream for you?
I don't think now the mainstream jaisa kuch raha hai abhi. I don't really think ki there is anything called as, like, it will change. I personally believe that mainstream will change because of the OTT platforms. Already we saw that the cinema houses were closed for this many months and this many years, and the OTT platform really boomed up. Some shooting happened, so many at remote places, but it worked. So people likes content. So many YouTube channel of local people all over India with their local language, local content, and is getting more respect and love from people, which sometimes very popular Hindi cinema is not getting. So the mainstream thing will change because of the OTT platform and YouTube. So the scenario will be totally different after 5 years. You don't no more you need to go to Mumbai or Pune to become a successful actor. You can become a successful actor at your own place, at your own geography, at your own language, if you create a really good content. And that good content can be created through exploring the ideas.
I mean, in terms of content also, I feel like this is my opinion. Like, a lot of the content that comes, especially that speaks about different places, like, for example, like, not just specifically Vidarbha, but places that are not part of the main cultural centers, right? So he was talking about lower caste experiences or tribal experiences and things like that. The way that it's framed for, like, perhaps a Netflix or even like TV shows or movies and stuff, it's with a specific audience in mind. So, and it, like, for me, it sort of dilutes what actually those experiences are. Because I feel like when you're doing the stand-up comedy project, what was really, really interesting was the way that people from, like, for example, were sharing their experiences as an Adivasi population from Sangamner. And it was unadulterated. They were just talking about the idea of what it means to be within a child marriage, and also what it meant to be a sex worker, without actually thinking about speaking to wider mainstream audiences. It was just like, this is me and these are my experiences, and you can take it or not. Do you think that working with mainstream can often dilute that and you can lose some of that essence?
Yeah, working with mainstream dilutes you, and so many times I feel that the who is showing that is important. The one who's showing that is always a person with all the privileges. Like someone who's showing poverty is living is his life with all the privileges. So the people who is all actually living that thing has to come out and make things. Like, so I'm saying that YouTube is doing really great work, and after a few years the things will totally change, because everyone have an access to YouTube, and people are shooting in their own local places and they are getting famous for their language, for their dialect. So there is this guy, and his name is Mari, I think Vinayak Mari or so, and that guy belongs to which community was that? I think Agri community, and he's a very famous guy. He's got so many followers. So so I'm saying that the people with their own language at the comfort of their home, whatever whatever phone they have, they are making content, and this will change the scenario of mainstream, so-called mainstream things in few years. Even I'm planning to shoot a film based in Nagpur by Nagpurian people who has story from Vidarbha. So things will change. And this is what is needed. People should come out and tell their own stories if they have such creative thing in them.
So when you say things will change, what exactly do you mean by things? Like what will change? What are you challenging? For example, with Neha Giri, working with Harbat dialect or the Varadi language and staying true to those local experiences, what do you see yourself as challenging by doing that?
What will change is, still see, before few years we had few directors in film industry and we were dependent on them. Okay, we had some few directors, so-called few directors in Hindi or in Marathi, and we were dependent on them. If they give us chance, then we might get a role, then we might click or we might not click. But now that is not the dependency anymore. You are not dependent on some director to get recognized. You can become your own director. Nobody gave me chance. Of course, when I was in Mumbai, I looked after a chance. I gave a lot of auditions. I wanted to work in mainstream film industry. I was so much interested into acting and do some really interesting and impact making cinemas, but nobody gave me chance. So it is a very rare thing. Why would, like, them to recognize you and them to feel that she can do better is a 1 in 100 chance. Like, and already they have so many people who wants their relatives to get featured. So why would they give a chance to you? Mostly they will give a chance to someone who's somebody of the producer or writer or directors or this or that. So now the people are no more dependent on directors, and this will happen in more ways. The magnitude of this thing will increase. People will be less dependent on directors, and with the help of the phone, people will learn making YouTube videos, and you will see whoever is, कोई भी famous हो रहा है अभी, कोई भी famous होता है. और ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ famous होने के लिए ही we have to do the things. If you have a quality content, then you will get recognition. And even if you don't get, with time, at least you will have a satisfaction. I did what I used to like. When YouTube was not there, I was not able to show my creativity apart from plays, and वहां पे भी chance मिलना चाहिए. Again, opportunity वहां पे भी मिलना चाहिए. वहां पे भी नहीं मिलता था. So that's the thing. Dependency कम हो गई है.
Right, but like outside of just like the structure of like people like within the film industry and things, more in terms of what comes out. Like, do you feel like the way that the representations of certain communities can shift if this happens?
Yeah. Yes. So, for example, I belong to a Dalit community, and I haven't seen any, you can say, special mention or a special, what do you say, special place to any mainstream popular Hindi cinema. So when Paranjit went into the film industry, he made films which has some special mention or some special, you can say, he made to a thing that it should happen. थोड़ा दलित सेंट्रिक और अम्बेडकराइट फिल्म और अम्बेडकराइट फैमिली की भी स्टोरी हम रख सकते हैं. सो पहले ऐसा नहीं हुआ था. व्हेन आई वाज लाइक से टिल मेरे कॉलेज एज तक आई हैव नेवर सीन अ पॉपुलर फिल्म who has a reference that, oh, this person is Dalit or this person is belongs to scheduled caste and he is a friend of a hero. Happen ना, it can happen, right? कोई भी रह सकता है, लेकिन हीरो का फ्रेंड भी यही रहेगा, प्रिविलेज्ड क्लास का ही रहेगा. जरूरी नहीं है ना, हीरो का फ्रेंड अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड क्लास का भी रह सकता है, बट ऐसा नहीं दिखाते थे. सो आफ्टर पारंजित थिंग्स हैव चेंज. पारंजित डिड वेल, सो अभी जय भीम पिक्चर भी आया. Like people saw, oh, Paranjit is doing that and people are accepting that. So Jai Bhim बना डाला. So now things will change. अभी जय भीम बना डाला, उसके पहले फिर आर्टिकल 15 भी इसमें बना दिया, like in Hindi films. So like that now the shift is, the things are shifting. But पहले नहीं होती थी shift. अभी since someone entered, so things are shifting.
Do you have examples of your own work, any of your own jokes that sort of do something like this, which shift the way that you look at things? That you'll be happy to share.
Like what? कैसा? Like क्या?
As it, like,
what exactly you're asking for?
I mean, in the sense that I know that in a lot of your comedy sets, you talk about, you shift the way that the woman, there was one part of your sets which would shift the way that women assume the role of power and what it actually means to do that back when we were touring and things. So I thought it might be interesting for some of the audience here to also just get to understand what you mean by like shifting this idea of who's the hero, who occupies this space, but also just in through the way that you work with comedy in itself.
I don't know, but just a sarcastic line which I will be using in the video is like the daughter tells to her mother ki mummy, papa doesn't talk to you respectfully and you should not listen to that and you should not obey to that, you should resist that. Then she's like, respect kya hota hai respect, what is it? So like that.
Right. Great. So in terms of your own sort of practice and the way that you like to take things forward, how do you see yourself moving in the next few years, the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, as I told you that I'm planning for a production house, and then I'm planning to do something with the artist of Vidarbha, and culturally it could be anything, with rappers, with music guys, with editors, like with all kind of artists. I'm trying to do some collaborative work with them, and maybe in near future I may write a series or shoot the series in the Nagpur location itself. For that I'll need a team as also. That is one of the aspects. And I am making my videos that will continue to do. The other things which I'm interested in, developing tourism of Vidarbha, that is also one of the things. And if I get a chance, I would contest elections also, which I had already told you. So whatever I could do for the upliftment of Vidarbha and the students of Vidarbha, I would definitely do that.
Your mom also is in Panchayat elections, right?
Yeah. She's a sarpanch of our village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got one last question to ask you, which is actually related to what you've been saying in the news recently. What do you think of like the ability of comedy to resist some of like the, like, what do you feel like, what is the power of comedy to resist ideas of gender, ideas of patriarchy, ideas of even like caste, or even in terms of like political issues that we see today? What is the power of
I
that?
think day by day the retention power of people has really reduced. Okay, Initially, when we were children, that time the film has to be for 3 hours, 3 hours, 4.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Lagan was 4 hours. Now the films have shifted to 2 hours, 1 hour, 130, 120. So the retention of people has reduced. And 1 minute, someone is calling me. Yeah. So stand-up comedy is only 5 minutes. It will take not more than 5 to 7 minutes of set. And then with comedy, with humor, you can serve such important topics or such thing which will stay with them. Like you comment on politics, you can comment on the custom or the traditions that is around you, and if you serve that through comedy, it will stay with that person. And with the injection which is given to your brain, and that will change the thought process of a person. That is the power of a stand-up comedy set. So that's why I think politicians are so afraid of this comedy, and they are catching comedians, poor comedians like us, stopping them to perform. That is what happened in the Bangalore with Munawar Farooqi.
Yeah.
So this is a powerful medium, and if these people starts performing more, the other local people of India will get more aware of the situations.
As a stand-up comedian and someone who works with comedy, it also shares certain messages. Like reading about the whole Munawar Farooqi thing, what did you feel? What were your thoughts? Like how did that affect you?
I felt bad for that poor guy. I mean, see, sometimes I feel so. I feel like laughing on the government itself, because they only are making people hero. He is just a normal guy like you and me. He is a normal guy. We had a talk also that he asked me to open his show whenever he performs in Nagpur few years back, like before COVID. And he is just a normal guy. I don't know. Then Express front news. So किसी का भी news बना देते हैं ये लोग. And he was just normally performing, and stopping him to perform is really, you can say, invasion of the Article 15 of Indian Constitution, which gives us freedom to express. So that's something wrong. Like we should not stop someone to perform. Perform करने दो, बाद में कुछ बोलता है तो अंदर डालो ना. Before performing only, how can you say कि ये गलत ही बोलेगा? That's wrong.
And how do you think, like, as someone who works with humor and talk against something like this, how do you resist this?
Resist? You mean like what resist?
As in, like, the idea of the government or people who don't want to hear certain narratives through comedy because they're scared of it. Like, as someone who does that as part of your daily work and daily practice, what is the way that you push back against some of these closing forces that you see?
No, if I receive some negative feedback or negative energy, I try to talk to them. Like I try to have a conversation with them, like how two adults should communicate with each other. Like through communication, I try to solve their queries, or like if that happens, fine. Agar still they are not listening, or they think whatever they think is the final thing, and they don't appreciate the differences we have, then I just leave them. ज्यादा एनर्जी नहीं खर्च करती, थोड़ा ही खर्च करती हूँ ऐसा.
Is there an example of this where someone didn't respond well?
Example, yeah, there is one example. There was some example. Something was there, and I wrote something. मैं भूल गई अभी what was that. I wrote something, and then some other guy, his surname, he must be a right-wing guy or whoever he is, then he like suddenly started to comment huge comments on my post ki you are saying wrong about our religion, or ye wo. So someone from his only group commented ki dada, she wrote this, not this. So वो पढ़ते time he took it wrong. मतलब मैंने वो लिखा ही नहीं था, but reading के time पे he took it wrong. So then he only said sorry to me there itself. So मतलब पढ़ा भी नहीं, and he thought कि मैंने वही लिखा होगा, but I didn't wrote anything like that, and his only people corrected him. तो ऐसा भी होता है कि ये लड़की है, ये है तो यही बोलेगी, ये मुस्लिम है तो ये गलत ही बोलेगा हमारे गॉडेसेस के बारे में. ऐसा जो जजमेंटल है दिमाग में, that needs to change. So ऐसा होते रहता है.
Great. Yeah. I think I'm done with my own questions for you.
Yeah.
I think we've been talking for a while as well. So, audience members, if there's anyone else who has any questions from Neha that perhaps you'd like to ask her, according based on her work or some things that she's spoken about, please feel free to just turn on your mic and go ahead and ask a question. Or you can even put it in the comments in the chat box and we can share it with Neha as well.
I think people have already understood.
Are there any questions from anyone? You can just unmute yourself and you can go ahead and ask.
Lots of silence.
Okay, we have. I think you have covered everything, and people have. I think they have listened to it.
I guess.
Yeah, we've been talking. I think around an hour, no?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because you also perform, because you're performing sets that are from in and around your community and family and from where you live, what has been the response of, for example, your family members and from your village who suddenly see you on stage probably doing things that they might recognize and talking about experience?
Actually मुझे बहुत शर्म आती है like immediate village guys, like those who have seen me from my childhood, and when they saw my video and then they come to me, you got very famous, I saw your video in our like groups and also I feel very shy, like what to say now. And my family, my parents are okay with it, they are totally cool with it, but however my some extended family members, they have taken it very personal, because issues which I am talking in videos, and they have been practicing the same in their lives, so they took it very personal that she made a video on our lives, and like how can she do like that, and how can she make fun of family members, this and that. So some family members have distanced themselves from me, but my immediate family members, they are very encouraging. So mostly I have received encouragement, but yeah, some have took it personally because they have been following that, doing that, so they took it personally.
And one more question I had, which is like, because Maharashtra also has a very active Ambedkarite and political movement of very many kinds. How has your experience been with, like, say, human rights movements or political movements or social movements? Do you feel that they are able to understand that what you're doing is also a form of resistance and expression? Do you find support there, or is it something that you feel is happening separately in Maharashtra?
Angarika, you asked me very genuine questions. Both of them were very great questions. So thank you for that. And second question, yes, people see me just like a comedian, like though Ambedkarite or non-Ambedkarite, like social movement, then this is the personality. ये उनके दिमाग में छपा हुआ है. Like we are so conditioned, like our minds are so conditioned, like they see me just like a performer. They don't see me like an activist, they don't see me like a social reformer, they see me like a performer, they see me like a comedian. I have to tell them that no, I'm not doing this to make people laugh. I'm also giving them injections, I'm also giving them some food to think about. So this is the way I have to convey to them. I have to tell them, no, I'm not just a comedian. I'm not just, don't frame me in a comedy role. So yeah, people look at me just like a comedian, but I have to tell them. And some people understand that no, she's not only doing comedy, she's also doing a social commentary through comedy. So some people understand, but majorly they see me like a comedian.
Yeah. We have a question in the chat box, which is, why do you think that why are there such few female comics in our country? And what do you feel are the challenges for women comics?
Yes, very, very nice question. Why few female comedians? First thing, again, you can say a judge, what do you call, a notion that is spread among the society that women can't do a comedy. Like women are not famous to do comedy. In Bollywood also, you see we have so many male comedians, Johnny Lever or other comedians, but very few female comedians who gets the due respect as Johnny Lever gets. Very few female comedians, like Bharti Singh and all, she has come recently, but like इतना भी पॉपुलर नहीं है जितना जॉनी लीवर को प्लेटफॉर्म मिला और अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली. सो दिस इज अ कॉमन नोशन कि मेन मेक्स गुड कॉमेडी, विमेन जस्ट लाफ्स, दे डोंट हैव अ कॉमेडी सेंस, दे आर नॉट ह्यूमरस, दे आर नॉट कॉमिक. तो पहले तो ये चीज है कि लड़कियों में कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं आता है कि शी कैन बी अ कॉमिक एज वेल. सेकेंड, नो सपोर्ट फ्रॉम फैमिली. लाइक स्टेज पे जाके खुद की उड़ाना, मुझे ही आई नो हाउ मच बैकलैश आई एम फेसिंग फ्रॉम अदर पीपल्स दैट क्या खुद का कॉमेडी उड़ाने के लिए क्या तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है. आई एम नॉट गेटिंग ग्रूम्स बिकॉज आई एम अ कॉमेडियन. सो दैट इज अनदर बैकलैश आई एम फेसिंग. दिस इज द चैलेंज आई एम फेसिंग. आई एम नॉट गेटिंग अ प्रॉपर गाय टू मैरी बिकॉज आई एम अ कॉमेडियन. People think that she is making fun of herself. What intelligence is that? So this is what they think about me. कि I am making fun of myself. इसमें क्या होशियारी है? So ये एक चैलेंज है, ये एक डिसएडवांटेज है कॉमेडियन होने का. सो डिस्करेजमेंट है, लिमिटेशन है, खुद में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता है कि हम अच्छा कॉमेडी कर सकते हैं क्या. अगर हमने 4 लोगों को हंसाया भी तो क्या हम कॉमेडी एज अ करियर चूज कर सकते हैं क्या, यहाँ तक सोचना भी एक डिफरेंट थिंग है. Though you make a comedy among your group, but that girl will never get a confidence that she can make a career out of it. So girl के लिए तो अलग ही issue है. So many issues.
Yeah. Hopefully with the kind of work that you're doing, that will break.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
But everything comes with the challenges which I am facing now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think if there's no other questions, we can close. I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Neha, for agreeing to come and having this long chat with us and sharing a lot of your practice about who you are and also some of the challenges you face as a comedian and also generally as a person doing this work. And I think we are definitely going to follow you. Your trajectory, because I think it's been amazing to see you from the last 5 years really push the limit and of number one of how comedy can work as not just as a woman but also in terms of like through the dialect and also within really subverting the market that stand-up comedy and comedy in the country is currently occupying in. And I think that's one of the most commendable things about the work that you're doing is that while it's through a mainstream form, it's really subverted what that can look like. And I really look forward to seeing how forward.
Thank you, Nihal, Angarika, and the team of Mara for like giving me platform and stage to speak where the platforms are not available. In such scenarios, providing a platform itself is a big thing. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah. All right then.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining, whoever joined. And yeah. So we'll be trying to do these talks at least once every month, working with different artists who work with different forms, but the theme is generally people who are sort of pushing against the boundaries of how the form, the function, and also in terms of the content, how these things can work through the working with artistic practices. So yeah, please sign up for our Instagram and Facebook and things like that, to just be aware of like when we're having these Against the Tide shows. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Angarika, that I've forgotten before?
No, I think we're good. In case any of you want to join our mailing list, so you know what we're up to in the coming week. I mean, not the coming week, the coming months. Please, you can just send us a message on Instagram or Facebook, and we will add you to our list. And thank you very much, Neha. That was a lot of food for thought. What you said.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Neha. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye, everyone.